Okay, now you may have noticed that even though we put this blue background in for the whole of our wrapper, it hasn't actually come down to the bottom here. And that's mainly because when it's rendering here, it doesn't know which of these columns is going to be the longest. So what we actually need to do is to rectify that. Okay? And we're going to rectify that by using a dot clear me style and putting clear both. Now, instead of a hashtag, I've used a dot here. And I've used a dot because I might want to use this for more than one time on a page. So if I go to my page here and then put in a little div tag after these two here and say class equals clear me, and then immediately end the div tag. Okay, I've just put basically a very small div right at the bottom of both of those. It clears all the classes, and hey presto, all the colour now returns. So that was the clear me, and it's a class. Let's just go back to the style sheet. It's a class that I can use more than once on a page. I can't use the name container, ID equals container, more than once on a page, but I can use this class. So I'm going to do another couple now. One's called snippet. Here it is. And that requires padding to the left of 10 pixels and a border left of 1 pixel, and finally a border left 1 pixel solid. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little bit of colour in 003399. There we are. So that's a snippet. Now the question is, where are we going to use this snippet? Well, the answer is I'm going to call it for each of these paragraphs. So I'm going to head back into here, and here I'm going to put class equals snippet, and it will apply to each of the paragraphs if I put it in. So you can see I'm using this more than once on the page. And when I do that, I get a nice little line down here for each paragraph. So that's really quite cool. I also want a footer on the page, so I'm just going to add now a footer here. So this is div ID equals footer. There we have it, and end div there. Okay, and the footer should just say something, a little bit of paragraph. So, thank you for visiting my page, and paragraph. Okay, and that should easily now appear. There it is. Thank you for visiting my page. That's why we did the clear me, so it knows exactly where it is, and that finishes on there. And with that footer, I'm going to do hashtag footer, and then as it says, I'm just going to mirror the border here like that, copy and paste, but instead of at the bottom I'm going to do it at the top. Let's see if I can mirror my dotted lines now. There they are, mirrored dotted lines there. That's looking quite neat now. That's great. So one more thing to do, I want a little quote in italics. Okay, so let's just have a look over here. Difficulties are just things to overcome after all. So I want that. I'm going to put a span in here. Okay, and there we go. I put a span in there, and after the quote. Okay, and I want to put that in italics. Okay, so I've put span in there, and I've put class equals quote. Like that. So now I need a class for that span. So back I go to style sheets, and I'm going to do dot quote, and for the quote I want it in italics. So I'm just going to have a double check that you use font style colon italic. There we go. Just try running that to test it. There we are. Difficult to adjust things to overcome after all. Okay, so I just need to tidy that up. I think the instructions said that that should be my quote, not quote. I'll just go back to here and make sure that that says my quote just there with the span. That's good. Okay, run it again, make sure it works. Yep, that's working. That's good. So these are all being saved on the fly, which is great news. Great, so let's mark our CSS to make sure we've got the right styling on the page. This only marks the CSS, by the way, so you need to really check. There we are, well done. But you really need to check also that it looks exactly like this. If not, you need to go back and do some debugging. And great, there we are. That's classes. Put the dot in front for a class.